This is Internet Business Mastery, episode 115.
In a world where bosses control your life and thoughts of escape fill your mind, where inspiration seems dead and cynicism rules the masses, you have a desire to break free. You feel the need to take control. Now, there exists a place where the secrets of freedom and wealth are given to those who believe. InternetBusinessMastery.com. Free your mind.
Hello and welcome to Internet Business Mastery Online at InternetBusinessMastery.com. I'm Sterling.
And I'm Jay.
And we're here to help you escape the 9-to-5 and live the lifestyle of your dreams by turning your life's passion into a profitable internet business, even if you're just getting started today. And on this episode of Internet Business Mastery, we reveal the 4 surefire ways to make more money with internet business. And in the quick tip, we have a simple household tool that can double your productivity. And we'd like to remind you that if you'd like to get a jump start on creating your own profitable internet business using our proven system, you can claim your risk-free trial membership to the Internet Business Mastery Academy by going to freeaudiogift.com. So what's going on in the world there, Jay?
Well, I'm getting excited to go to London next month.
Yeah, so am I, definitely.
I just put a call out. I mean, I guess for those who don't know, we've been asked to speak on stage with, Mark Victor Hansen, who did the Chicken Soup for Your Soul series and, well-known success and business speaker. And, some other big speakers at the Ultimate Business Summit there in London taking place first weekend in March. And we thought it'd be cool to have a little meetup with anybody in London or the UK area who wanted to make a little trip in to see us speak, or even just to go to an Internet Business Mastery meetup. And I wasn't sure what to expect. Put a call out the other day to get who's in the London area that might want to meet up, and put a little opt-in for a list for people to stay up on that. And already, bam, there's 100 people signed up for it. And I just didn't know what to expect as far as people just in London that listen to the show or whatever. So that's exciting, but it's going to be fun to speak on stage with such, well-known business and success speakers. But I think I'm even more excited for this meetup now because it seems like we got a lot of listeners there in the London area. So it's going to be very cool.
Yeah, I totally didn't realize we need some people to show us around. So there you go.
They're right. Yeah, we're definitely going to take the opportunity to do some sightseeing as well. Me as well, right?
I almost said, this will be the first time I've left the country, the USA. And then I realized, I went to Mexico. But does that count, really? And I've been to Belize, so I guess I have been out a couple of times.
Your first time across the pond, as they say.
There we go.
Very, very chic. So if you want some information about our speaking engagement and the meetup in London, go to internetbusinessmastery.com/London and just sign up for the email list there. It's just a little mini notification list, so we make sure we get all the information to you right away.
And now, the features segment.
All right, so I want to start out this episode talking a little bit about how Sterling and I, when we sit down and it's time to think about how we can go to that next level, make more money in our business, make more money online, what is the strategy that we use? So here's our Make Money Online strategy outline in 8 easy steps. You ready for this?
All right, let's see it.
All right, so number 1 is you ask the 4 Make Money Online questions. And we're going to have more on this in just a minute. We'll go over what those questions are. Okay, number 2, even more importantly, you have to go and eat at a Brazilian grill.
Yay,
our favorite
Rodizio Grill.
Rodizio Grill in Salt Lake City. Then number 3, brainstorm as many ideas as possible based on those 4 questions from step number 1.
Yes.
Step number 4, eat at the Cheesecake Factory.
Snicker cheesecake.
Step number 5, prioritize the opportunities that you've made in the list. And number 3, prioritize those based on your passion and the profit potential and the cost of time and money to put it into action. Step number 6, eat at the Pie Pizzeria.
Of course.
Where incidentally, we had our very first meeting ever in 2004 or 3, something like that. And then you can go to a movie after you go and eat at the Pie.
That part is partially optional, though.
Partially optional. Depends on the circumstances.
Exactly.
Step number 7, set specific goals and next actions to put the opportunities that you've chosen into play. And then step number 8, design your launch at Krispy Kreme Donuts.
Ah, yes. I guess we need to start getting together to do that again. After the one we did at the last launch, we didn't get together at Krispy Kreme. What were we thinking?
Well,
I also didn't realize that we spend the majority of our time together running our business while eating. What's up with that? Maybe we should go for a run or something instead.
Some people make money while they sleep. We make money while we eat.
Exactly.
That was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, obviously, but literally that is about how it goes when we have our money-making strategy meetings. It's pretty much exactly just like that. And, of course, those even eating steps in there are, some might find those more important than others. But what we do, the important thing here is that on a regular basis, we do sit down, at least we try to have it at least be quarterly, and we get together physically in the same place, either Sterling flying to Portland or me flying to Salt Lake City, and we sit down and ask ourselves 4 main questions that will lead to making more money online. And that's where the title of this episode comes from, 4 surefire ways to make more money with internet business. And if you ask these 4 questions, you will come across those ways to make more money in your market. And really when it comes down to it, these planning meetings that we have, it's all about keeping the pipeline full. We want to feed our sales funnel. It's feeding this money machine that we've made. And in fact, in the last episode, we talked about how one of the things we were focusing on for 2011 was that core cash flow. And this is the way to do that is by asking these questions. And just as a quick reminder or sidestep for people who aren't as familiar with that terminology, the sales funnel is just that process that creates money for your business. If you think of it, a funnel at the top that you pour stuff into, people call it sales funnel because it's like you pour into the top traffic and leads and people who might be interested in what you have to offer. And then, some percentage of those actually opt into your list. And so that's why the funnel gets a little bit narrower. So you convert as many as you can, not all of them convert, but as many as you can to your list. And then you try to sell as many of you as those people as you can to your first product and then to your second product and into the back end. And then it kind of funnels down until down in the bottom, you have your best customers who buy, the most stuff from you. And your business is going to stay alive and grow if you consistently work on filling that sales funnel and consistently work on making new money, which is what we want to talk about in this episode is how can you consistently, what are the surefire ways to make new money in your business and to continually grow that business?
Well, and that doesn't actually mean that you have to focus only on new customers. Retention and current customers and selling new products to your current customer list is also included in that.
Right, absolutely. It's new money, not necessarily just new customers. And so here are the 4 questions that we sit down, when we're at the Rodizio Grill in Salt Lake or at the Cheesecake Factory or whatever. And these are the things that we're rattling around, and maybe we have a yellow legal pad that we're just scribbling these things out on. But there's 4 questions, 4 ways that you can make more money in your business. And the first question you want to ask yourself is, how can we attract more traffic? Clearly, if you have more traffic coming into the top of the funnel, that's going to trickle down into more money at the end. More people in means more money in the end. Number 2 is ask yourself, how can we convert more of our audience or our prospects into buyers? Conversion is something that happens at every step of that sales funnel process. You get a certain amount of traffic to your content or to your website. Well, how many of those people are converting into our email list? A very important step in getting them through the sales funnel and starting that relationship and developing that relationship with them so then you can offer up your products to buy. So, we're looking at, well, how many people who hit this page, what percentage of people who hit our landing page actually convert into being email opt-in buyers, or how many people then from the emails, the autoresponder emails that they get from us after signing up, how many of those people end up back at the landing page or the sales page to buy, and how many of those people convert from the sales page into actually buying, and how many of those buyers convert into buying the second thing or the third thing from us. So conversion is something that happens at every step, and the more you convert at each step, the wider that funnel gets, and the more that the money comes out the bottom of it for your business. The third question you can ask yourself is, well, how can we retain customers longer or increase the amount that those customers are buying from us? Or a term that you might hear a lot in sales and in business, which is a very important term, is knowing the lifetime value of each customer. And that is to say, well, how much is each customer worth to your business over time? if you know that for every person that buys something from you, on average, over time, that person buys, $1,000 of products, then that tells you how much, each new buyer is worth to your business and how much money you can spend getting each of those new buyers. So lifetime value, and that might be in keeping them longer in your membership site. It might be by selling them more products over time, or getting them to buy more often, or getting them to buy more expensive things, higher end services from you. So how can you retain the customers? And that's why, like Sterling was saying earlier, it's not necessarily about new customers. Sometimes it's just as important to sell more to the new customers, or to keep those new customers, or sell more to those current customers and keep those current customers around longer. And then the fourth question to ask yourself is, well, how can we deliver more or new value to the customers that we already have? So that means, finding a new pain or a new passion or new urgency that your customers have, a big question that they have, something that they really want, and then developing a product or a service or a course or a teleseminar series or whatever the case may be, or finding an affiliate product that you can offer to them and make a commission off of. How can you deliver new value to your customers?
Well, and that would be called the time management program we're working on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. For instance, coming into a new year when we're recording this right now, that's something we know is on the minds of a lot of the people, a lot of our customers. We got a lot of people in the academy and the traffic attraction course who are saying, this information is awesome. I'm just trying to manage my time better in order to get it implemented in my business and in my life. So can you teach me about how to manage time? So that's why we're putting that together right now. So, business is all about a value exchange, and obviously if you can come up with new ways to offer value to your market, offer value to your customers, then you are going to make more money. So these 4 questions are what we call the 4 money magnifiers. How can you get more traffic? How can you convert more of your audience into buyers? How can you retain customers longer and increase that lifetime value? And number 4, how can you deliver more value to the current customers that you already have? Let me just go ahead and throw out some examples. This actually comes from an exact sheet. Like I said, we have our little notebooks or legal pads that we're writing all this stuff down on as we're just throwing ideas out. Well, what if we did this? Or, hey, there's this opportunity or this idea I learned about recently. And we're just writing all these things down so we can then filter through them and prioritize them. I actually did a blog post on this a little while ago, and we can link to that in the show notes so you can see this actual image that I'm referring to here to give you some examples of each of these 4 different areas. So, for example, and as I'm looking at the sheet of paper, there's 4 columns written across the top: traffic, conversion, retention, new income. And under each of those columns is written a whole bunch of ideas. So, for instance, under traffic, one idea we threw out there was to come up with an entry-level product that's, in the $27 or $47 range that we put, like an ebook that we put into ClickBank, because ClickBank is a big search engine and place where affiliates are looking for things to sell, customers are looking for things to buy. We could definitely get a product in there. Or obviously we could go out and recruit new joint venture partners, or we could write a book and put a PR campaign behind it. Or we've got a couple friends who are doing some really cool stuff with search engine optimization and link building. So we wrote those things down. Or something we've thought about in the past is, okay, well, we've got the audio show in iTunes. What if we did a video show like through Ustream or YouTube? We could beef up our affiliate program and give them more resources and recruit more affiliates. So this is just to give you some examples that we wrote down on the sheet of paper. For conversion, we're putting into action this new perpetual launch system that puts people automatically into these automatic webinars that happen over and over. And then, there's a whole system that they go through. And so we're in the middle of implementing that. We have down an Academy relaunch, which is something we did earlier this year. We came up with Academy 2.0 and relaunched the Academy and brought more sales in that way. So a relaunch is another way to convert more buyers. Moving on to the retention column, a couple examples over here is, this is the brainstorm we had shortly before we designed Academy 2.0, and we made some notes about simplifying the Academy, restructuring a little bit, making it easier for people to get through and get to results faster so that they were more motivated and want to stay longer and got through the process all the way before they got discouraged and maybe decided, I don't know if I can do this anymore. So we wrote some notes about, how to make the Academy simpler in order to retain people longer and get them to success even more. Under new income, we wrote down things about, relaunching traffic attraction formula, the JV launch, which is something we actually did, doing a live event, which is something we did and we're going to do again. So these are just to give you examples under each of those 4 areas. And then if you go to that post, and we have the link for episode 115 that goes to that post where I have this exact scanned image of our last brainstorm, and you'll see things are circled and then prioritized, and you'll see little S's and J's written down next to them because, for Sterling and Jay, because each of us was writing next to the ones that we were most excited about. And then we kind of discussed, okay, well, how hard will it be to implement each of these different ones? And in the end, we ended up coming up with 4 or 5 top strategies that we thought would be the best in order to make more money in our business and take things to the next level. And then, of course, the next step after that is to start putting them into action and getting the tasks out to our virtual assistants and getting everything, getting that machine that we've put together in our business going into implementing these things.
Well, and it's actually really interesting to look at this sheet and go, wow, look at all the things we actually did. I mean, this was just,
right.
This was us creating the future, making the future, basically reality control. And looking at it now, we did most of this.
Right. Yeah. The thing, they have other things that we circled. It looks like we got a lot of them done, and then the other ones we still have plans in the works to get them going. So that is very exciting to look at.
Yeah,
just keeps things on track and moving upward. And it's we talk about making more money, and I know that's a big thing a lot of people want in internet business is to make more money because then that brings options and choice and freedom and fulfillment and other things. And our businesses are much more than just money. And that's why as we look at this list and decide what we're actually going to do, it's not like the only criteria is which of these is going to make us the most money. We also ask ourselves, well, how does this fit our definite major purpose? How does this fit the things that we're most excited to do right now? How does this fit our strengths that we have individually as individuals and also in our business? So it's a culmination of all those things and deciding what we actually put into action in the end. So in the coming episodes, we're going to go and dive into these money magnifiers, each of these 4 money magnifiers some more in a new series. The Money Magnifier series is what we're calling it. And then we'll give you some more examples in each of those 4 areas and talk about some specific things you might be able to consider doing in your own business in order to implement those money magnifiers and make more money for yourself as well. So be watching for those as we move forward. It might not necessarily be the next 4 all in a row, but over the next several episodes, we will have those 4 episodes in the Money Magnifier series that you can watch for. So the next one that we'll be doing will be all about getting more traffic for your business. So just as a reminder, one more time, the 4 surefire ways to make more money with internet business is to sit down and ask yourself, how can I get more traffic? Number 2, how can I get more conversion? Number 3, how can I retain customers longer? And number 4, how can I deliver more value to the customers that I already have? And the optional 5th one is to eat at Rodizio Grill or Cheesecake Factory, whatever else your particular preference of eatery might be. It helps keep those Krispy Kreme, keeps those juices flowing. All right, this episode's breakthrough comes from one of our Traffic Attraction Formula members. He posted this to the forums about a little exciting happening that happened recently for him. And I thought it was a great example of just the kinds of opportunities that start happening when you start getting out there, putting great content on the internet, building a brand in the way that we teach. And so he posted this to the forums. He said, I wanted to share this bit of news with everyone. Yesterday, I was asked to make a guest appearance on one of the local newscasts here in Kansas City. If you have 3 minutes, you can check it out, the segment here, and then he has a link to it. While I'm excited for the opportunity, my intent is not to toot my own horn, but to provide a reminder that this kind of exposure is possible. This certainly was not some sophisticated media campaign conducted on our part, but rather we were at the top of the page search for the area of focus in our local area and provide relevant content on our site, which resulted in the invitation. As I know you are, I'm excited to apply the Traffic Attraction Formula principles in the effort to gain broader awareness. And that comes from Jason Ayers of CoachLibrary.tv. So thank you very much for sharing that with us, Jason. I went and checked out the clip, and he did a great job. The local news station wanted, it was a brand new year, so they wanted some stuff about goal setting and New Year's resolutions. And he has, a personal coaching business and is putting together a show right now about life coaching, personal coaching, and goals and things like that. So like you said, just having great content and being in the right place and doing all these kind of great content marketing things that we teach, you end up with these kinds of opportunities that come out of the woodwork, whether it be getting invited to be on your local news station, whether it's, it can be book offers, it can be speaking offers, all kinds of cool things start happening just because of the visibility and the brand that starts building as you put those things into action. So congratulations, Jason. Thank you for sharing that with us. And again, you can check out his site at CoachLibrary.tv. Yeah,
and it reminds me that, we got to start looking into that PR stuff once we get one of the other things that's on our list to do this year and do that kind of thing, because it's definitely interesting to have that clip later too.
Maybe we can get a new show on the Oprah station.
Oh, sure.
Sterling and Jay. The Sterling and Jay show.
Then we got to be somewhere every day. That's kind of a bummer.
No.
Never mind.
Forget that. Never mind.
It's time for the Internet Business Quick Tip.
All right, so in this quick tip, we have a common household tool that can be used to double your productivity, or even more than double it. And that is it's one of my favorite things to use lately. I've been getting back in the habit again, and that is just a simple kitchen timer. And I know that's something you've used at times quite a bit for many years, Sterling. What are some of the ways that you use a kitchen timer?
We ran out of time.
That's it. The episode's over. See you all later.
We had 5 minutes to do this whole thing, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, I use it. I still use it all the time, especially now that we're trying to do less time for things. And see how efficient we can be. I'll set some crazy time like 30 minutes and just kind of keep my eye on it going, okay, I want to get all these 3 things done in that 30 minutes. And it's funny because as I get to 20 minutes, I start going, okay, what's left and what can I give to VAs? What can I give to the virtual assistants to do? Because it'll take me about 5 minutes to record a little Jing video telling them what they need to do. So I've been doing that. Or
is it good enough, what I've done already? Is it good enough? Or how important is it really to do the rest of this? Or 80-20, it's like, okay, what's the least that needs to be done for this to really be effective? And maybe I'm already done,
Yeah, well, and even the other question that we talked about, which was, is this a money-making activity?
Yeah.
I start sliding back over to the reading Facebook posts. I'm like, whoa, what just happened here? A couple of people wrote us, but is this really a money-making activity, or whatever, checking email. So, that I can look over at it, and I just have a little, just one of those little timers. I think I got it from my ex-wife used to sell Pampered Chef or something, so I've got that little timer where I can actually type in the exact time. And I can just put that in and just keep an eye on it right here on the desk. Okay, so how do you use it? Same way?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great tool it's an accountability tool. It's fun to kind of race against yourself, see how quickly you can get things done. So that's definitely one thing. Going back to that principle of a task will always just kind of fill up to take whatever time you give it. And so if you don't decide, let's see if I can do this in 30 minutes, you might not also just spend 2 hours when you didn't really need to spend it on that. But then the other thing, and I think I've mentioned this before, that I use it for is also to remind me sometimes about habits that I'm trying to form. So one that I've been working on recently is get up out of my chair every 50 minutes and just kind of stretch for a couple minutes, walk around a little bit, reach my arms up, maybe get a drink of water, just, because it keeps the back loosened up. And I notice that I don't get as stiff and things like that. So, or also people talk about, if you stare at a computer screen all day long and don't, look up and allow your eyes to focus out on something a little further away, it can be bad for your eyes. So just like, simple little ergonomic habits as well. And so the timer reminds me, 50 minutes. So it's time to, look up, look out the window, enjoy the view for a couple minutes, stretch for a couple minutes, and then sit back down and start working again. So that's just another little way that I use my kitchen timer. But definitely a very handy tool, not only for forming great habits, but also for time management and holding yourself accountable as well.
Now, if you'd like dozens of other resources such as this one, you can find them in the Internet Business Mastery Academy, along with video tutorials showing you exactly how we use them. To get a 30-day no-risk trial membership to the Internet Business Mastery Academy, visit freeaudiogift.com. That's it for this episode of Internet Business Mastery. Until next time, we wish you ultimate success in your internet business.
You've been listening to the iconoclasts of the 9-to-5 and the purveyors of freedom and fulfillment, Sterling and Jay. Sterling and Jay invite you to discover one of their most popular audio programs ever. The 3 pillars of designing your ultimate internet lifestyle. Visit freeaudiogift.com now and sign up for the free weekly Internet Business Mastery email newsletter. And you'll get instant access to this life-changing audio presentation, pulled directly from the content of the acclaimed Internet Business Mastery Academy membership community. Go now to freeaudiogift.com. Internet Business Mastery. Free your mind.